Hi, it's Alissa. We're going into week 10 of the relaunch campaign, and I have a lot of exciting updates for today. So I'm just going to get right into it. Number one, I've alluded to this a lot in the past, but R&D Creamery was never meant to be the name for the cheese company, because R&D Creamery is it's like a gestational, I think, period on the way to the larger cheese launch. And part of the reason for this, which I haven't really talked about much, is that I've been kind of working through this profound family emergency with COVID, and there was a death in my family, and this created an elder care crisis. And so I had been kind of wanting to stabilize that situation before moving forward on that aspect of the cheese relaunch. So I wanted to start, with a gestational period while I worked on that, and just to like re-engage the audience that I had. And now, dun, da, 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 we're ready to step forward into the next phase. So the first thing I've started off with is a rebrand or a branding, because R&D Creamery was never, it was a placeholder name. So I have been working with this branding agency out of London called Greater Good, and I've been working with Daniel, and have the new brand, which I'm going to launch this week. I've got the webpage and the brand, and without further ado, here it is. So there's a lot of meaning that's sort of imbued into the name, and if you have any questions about that, I did put a whole explanation about it on the website as well. But I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about what it means, and it's just really about bridging the tradition of cheese making from the past, of dairy cheese making. It's like at 8,000 years of history, and bridging that with the technology of the future to help support us in bringing about our best selves. And yeah, that's basically it. So with the branding and the website in place, I'm going to now start pursuing more large-scale funding for the cheese. So, and I've been leading up to this because, and I spoke a lot about it in last week's video, which I'll link up here. But with pursuing this kind of endeavor, the financing is a lot different, and it's really different culturally, and from doing the small artisan process. And so part of this sort of gestational period is kind of building a bridge between that sort of artisan paradigm and bridging that to a larger scale solution. So it's been a big shift, and I talked about last week how oftentimes there can be a gap, between sort of like what's going on at the level of the consumer and what's going on at the level of this big scale production. And sometimes there's a gap in, between, problems that need solving and problems that we can solve. And so part of the reason for doing this campaign and for engaging my core audience is that I really want to connect the dots on that gap. And so I want to engage my community and have you be part of this transition. So on that note, what's going to happen with this campaign? So I talked about the phase one was all about just making cheese and getting to the point of making cheese. So I've been doing that, and I've reached a couple other benchmarks along the way too that I wasn't even planning on, because we've done the rebrand and the website, and I've actually built the website myself. So I did everything, pretty efficiently. But I think what I want to do with this campaign is to turn it into a VIP cheese tasting club. So basically, I'm working on prototypes for the scalable product line, and you know, I think in big companies they'll have like market testing, and they'll engage just like random people for this part of the process. But I want to engage my community and get your feedback. So basically, right now I'm just starting with prototypes. So these are all handmade cheeses. So the VIP cheese tasting club is sort of like a gestational, where I'm working out like new products while I'm making old products. And it's really what it is, it's going to be the last chance to get handmade cheeses by me. So how this is going to work is, in essence, everyone who's donated $100 or more to the campaign is going to get cheese sent to them. Just like everyone. And that is retroactive. And in fact, I've actually already started sending cheese to some of the supporters who have donated over $100. So if you've donated over $100, or if you donate over $100 in the future, you're going to get some handmade cheese by me. The reason for this is just because it costs, you know, quite a lot just to ship the cheese, and so that's just sort of like the price where it makes sense to do it. But everyone's going to have a chance to win. I actually started making this fishbowl, so I started putting the names of everyone who's donated to the campaign, whether it be $100 or not. So if you donated less than $100, you're going to go into the fishbowl, and there's going to be lots of chances to win. I'm going to do partnerships with local chefs to try to build awareness of the brand out there. So I hope to have, you know, a number of chances to win for everyone, whether you donated $100 or not. There's going to be some other prize packages, and I'm going to list them on the GoFundMe page. But basically, we're just trying to raise it's less than $10,000 at this point, just to sort of pay for the shipping and pay for the cheese production while I raise the capital for this larger scale production. So it's kind of like an in-between period. So phase 2 is the VIP Cheese Tasting Club. You'll be in the VIP Cheese Tasting Club for life, you know, whatever the new cheese company, wherever it goes, you guys are always going to be the VIP Cheese Tasting Club. But for now, it's the last chance to get handmade cheeses by me, and that's all going to be announced on the GoFundMe campaign page. So I'm excited about getting experimental. I'm excited about trying new things. I've already started. I'm doing a little bit of a pause on the shipping for the next few weeks until the weather cools down, because the cheese hasn't been arriving in the best shape. But I'm excited to move forward with this and to collaborate with all of you to bring the cheese into the future. And the final thing that I want to announce today is part of kicking off the fundraising and the capital raising that I'm going to do this week is that I'm doing my first submission. I'm applying for an incubator program that's based in New York. It's called Grow New York, and I'm submitting the new company to this contest. It's kind of like a Shark Tank business development contest, but there's a chance to win up to $1 million towards your company. So this is very exciting. And I'm going to be submitting that this week, and I will keep you posted on the fundraising as we go. I plan to keep doing these weekly update videos to keep everyone engaged, and also to just be transparent about what I'm doing with the money that I've raised, and keep you guys in the loop. So I think that's pretty much it for this week. It's a big thing. I'm going to put a link down below to the website of the new cheese company, also to the campaign headquarters. I think I'm going to keep the campaign headquarters in the same spot, as we do this transition, just to make things less confusing, because there's like 2 brands and there's a lot of shifts and changes, and I don't want to lose people in the process, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be confused when we change the logo and all of this that's going to happen this week. But like, let's stick together, stay on the same page. And final reminder, just I want to let you know I've also started doing some videos on the wellness platform that I've been developing. Part of the thing with the new cheese is it's all about supporting us and being our best selves. And so Asian Warrior Princess is sort of my manifestation of my best self, my superhero alter ego. You can go to that website to get links to the videos about the campaign. Also, I'm doing gardening and recipes from the garden, and just sort of wellness inspired lifestyle tips. This week we're featuring a video with Colin Anderson from Eureka Compass Vegan Foods. He is opening the first, or not the first, but the largest vegan grocery store in the country, and it's super exciting. And he's going to be doing a quesadilla recipe on that. So check that out, AsianWarriorPrincess.com, and we'll be back next week.